Hi everyone, a quick and short video about why it is hard to find a medium that teaches you how to be a medium. Mediumship mentors, mediumship teachers, in my experience, it's a little bit trickier to find them. And I've actually received emails and comments from people asking, where do I find someone who will teach me? The first reason is a lot of mediums believe that you can be taught how to be a medium. They believe that unless you're born with it, then you can't cultivate it or develop it. I do not believe that. There's a lot of other mediums out there that do not believe that. There was a medium teacher's blog, talk radio, or podcast that I was listening to. And she said, think of it like this. You're born, you have legs, but you're never taught how to use your legs. And then one day you realize you have legs when you're older. Does that mean you can't learn how to use your legs? No, you can still learn how to use your legs. It's the same thing with, let's say, cooking. So some people have a propensity and affinity towards cooking and they become great chefs. However, you can still learn how to cook. So again, just because you didn't have experiences as a child with hearing and seeing and feeling spirits, you didn't have it in your early 20s or teens, it doesn't mean you actually still can't develop it and cultivate it. It just means you might have to put in more work and be more dedicated to developing. Okay? And some people, some teachers don't have the patience to actually teach people like that. So then they just think, oh, well, you're not a medium because it's going to take me however long to really get you to do it. And I don't have the patience. Okay, so that's really the teacher really talking badly about themselves as a teacher rather than the student actually not being good enough. So do not listen to anyone who ever says that you have to be born a medium. It's not true. You can develop it. That said, just like everyone can become a cook, not everyone's going to be a great chef. So yes, everyone can develop mediumship, but that doesn't mean everyone's going to be Tyler Henry or Teresa Caputo or June Field or any other popular medium that you have heard of. It just means that you can find what works for you in your life. Okay? The other reason it's a little bit tricky to find teachers for mediumship is because some of them only work out of churches, and not all of them are really, I'm gonna try to say this in the nicest way, they're not all tech savvy. When I found my teacher back in 2009, she wouldn't do anything over the phone and nothing through the internet. And I was like, well, why? She's like, because it messes with the energy. And when I went to Ukraine, worked with some of the other mediums there, they also said, oh, I don't work through the internet because the call can drop or it can become pixelated or they can't hear me. And I don't want to have any interference with my interaction with them because it's really important for them to get their messages from their loved ones, which I understood. However, it really limits how many people can find you and how many people you can work with. Okay, so yeah, some mediums don't have the patience to teach. Some are just not tech savvy. And some actually don't know how they do it. They just know that they do it, right? And that's actually very common for many, many, many mediums and many psychics. It's actually a gift, in my opinion. And when I say a gift, I don't mean to say better than or other people can't get it. I'll change the word from gift. It's an art. It's an art form that you have to learn. So some people just come on this earth and they're great with digesting information and regurgitating it for each person that they're working with so that everybody gets what they're talking about. And other people are not that way. So you will ask mediums, well, how did you learn? How do you do it? And they'll say, I don't know, I didn't learn, I just do it. Okay? And that's nothing wrong with them and how they live their life. It just means that they're not here to teach. Not everyone comes as a psychic, energy healer, or medium in order to pass on the knowledge. Some just come to do it. Okay? I really believe that being a teacher, being a mentor, being a priestess, whatever term that you want to use, which is the art form of passing along the information, I really believe that that's a calling or purpose, and not everybody has that calling or purpose. The other reason that it's sometimes tricky to find a medium that teaches and actually knows how to teach it is because they don't want competition. People think, well, everybody wants to share what they know. No, not everybody does. So some mediums do not want the competition of having other people know what they do, because then they're afraid of losing their clientele. It comes from a scarcity mentality, a consciousness of lack. And it's not the most harmonious or optimal way of being, but that is still true for some mediums. They don't want to teach or pass along their knowledge because they don't want any other people competing with their client base. Okay? And again, I don't judge people. I'm just aware of their reasonings behind it. Okay, so again, it can be because somebody doesn't know how to pass along the information and teach. They are not tech savvy, able to get the information out to the masses. They do not want to teach, and others believe that you are not supposed to teach. Okay, so that might be why it's been tricky or hard for you to find someone to teach you spiritual things. Okay, I came on this earth to pass along the information. The moment that I comprehend it, I'm willing to pass it along. I don't care how many people are on the planet that know how to do what I do. I think that makes life better rather than I'm going to lose out on something. Okay? So when you find someone who is open, ready, willing, and able to teach you, and they are invested in you getting it, they have patience, stick with them. I had one of my first teachers, who's a psychic medium, condensed her course from 2 years into about a year, and I was going there 3 times a week. Yeah, a lot. And she was dedicated. She was invested in me learning and grasping the information. And then I went to another teacher, and then another teacher. And some of these teachers are still in my life to this day because they are invested. To me, is like the most priceless thing about a mentor or a teacher. They will stick with you. They will be available to you. Of course, they will teach you boundaries, or at least they are to. And it's up to you to learn how to respect their boundaries. Doesn't mean that every time you need them, they're readily accessible. It just means that they will get back to you. So again, when you find someone like that, stick with them. Because in my experience, it's been a little bit harder to find people that really honor me. Okay? And of course, you can definitely manifest finding a teacher. So those of you who are open, ready, willing, and able to learn, set the intention, set the desire, focus on your willingness, your openness, your readiness, your ableness to learn psychic development, mediumship, energy healing, or whatever other spiritual thing you want to learn. And there is a saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher comes, or the teacher shows up. And that teacher can come in lots of different ways. It doesn't have to be a mentorship or an apprenticeship. It can be someone at the grocery store. It can be somebody on YouTube. It can be someone that you just cross paths with. They can become a friend, or it can be someone that you actively work with. In my experience, actively working with someone is better. I find that friends that are spiritual are great as a support system, but my teachers have been people that I've actually dedicated years of my life to studying under and learning from them. Okay? And then after you set that intention, remember to follow through on the inspiration you get, the inclinations you get about what to Google, where to go. Okay, because when I was desperate to find out about psychic phenomenon, it was this weird feeling of like starving. And I had this feeling that Vancouver would parch my thirst. So I knew I had to come to Vancouver, and that's where 3 of my first teachers were. I had teachers before that. Like my first teacher was when I was 19, and an intuitive life coach, but it was still over the phone. And these people were in person. It doesn't mean you have to learn only in person. It just means that for me to get where I wanted to go at the pace that I wanted to go, it was better for it to be in person for me. Okay, so had I ignored that desire and not come to Vancouver, then I wouldn't have met them. And of course, I delayed it, and the universe kept doing things, or my spirit kept doing things to push me out of where I was and go to Vancouver. And then commitment. Okay, so after you've set the intention, you've been given the divine guidance from the universe, you're obedient, you're following through on the divine guidance, then you must commit to doing it. Don't know how many people have emailed me over the years and have come up with some excuse to undermine themselves. Okay, because that's really what people are doing. Oh, I can't afford it. I'm willing to work within your budget. Oh, I don't have the time. What are you giving precedence over yourself? Are you willing to stop doing that? And so I will work with people to move through some of their blocks and belief systems about why they can't, because it's always a lie. But sometimes they're not ready yet, and that's fine. Or they're not willing yet, and that's fine. Okay? But remember, if you're looking back, complaining and saying, well, this didn't happen, that didn't happen, it might be because you actually didn't commit. You didn't completely follow through on the opportunity that the universe placed in front of you. And even if you don't take advantage of that opportunity, trust and believe the universe will bring back another opportunity again. There won't be a punishment. Well, I sent it to you once, twice, 3 times, thrice. I'm not doing it anymore. The universe doesn't do that. It will always give you another opportunity to learn whatever it has called you to learn. So if you guys have ideas about manifesting tips, you can comment in the comment section. If you would like to work with me with psychic development, energy healing, or mediumship, I do have my mentorship programs, which you can find in the description of the video. A lot of things are changing in the new year, so what I'm offering now might not be what I'm offering past March of 2018, and you can, of course, email me. Okay, so many blessings to all of you. Keep being vital, all you vital signs. Shine.